All right, what's going on, guys? Excuse me. Tremaine here, the most disciplined day trader on YouTube. Going short here in NASDAQ, looking for sell side liquidity as a draw. We have S&P and Dow looking pretty heavy, so I like that. Relative equal lows, a little too clean, too smooth, and I'm using the low end of this breaker as my entry. So we have a high, low, higher high that also runs out this high here. So if we take that entire range, and let's go ahead and label that. I'm also managing the same trade on my Apex account, so I got my hands full just a little bit. And again, I'm aiming for that sell side, possibly the midnight open. That's not required for me, but if I can get it, all the better. I would definitely plan on taking partials or closing majority of my position though at the sell side. And I do want a pyramid as well if it gives me an opportunity. So I'm just observing, can we manage to stay inside of the lower end of that bearish breaker, stay underneath this mean threshold? The Dow is currently already heading towards this 8 a.m. lows here. It actually already took out those lows, and S&P is breaking lower aggressively towards those lows as well. If I can get a pyramid entry inside this inversion fair value gap, I'm gonna add one more. Once we leave it, I'm watching to see can we respect the midpoint of it. All right, so short one more contract at the low of that inversion fair value gap. And just gonna let this bad boy rock. And I will be taking 2 off at the sell side. Risking around 1.1% of my equity. It's not a lot. Stop loss is trailed above mean threshold of the breaker. So I'm allowing price to come back up to the breaker should it want to do so. But I would want to sustain the lower half of it. So I'm allowing for that. If we were to retrace to the breaker, that's perfectly fine. My stop loss affords that. Now, once we trade towards like the low end of that old new day opening gap and that 8:30 opening price, then I'll likely remove my risk entirely. And this is about as much as I'll build my position up. 3 contracts is enough. And then I'm also short 3 contracts on Apex as well. So Dow is expanding aggressively towards its 8 a.m. sell side. S&P just falling out of bed as well. And we also have a bullish dollar index. So I love the symmetry we're getting this morning. November and December are my favorite months to trade. Just the fall as we head into winter. Those months are just really clean for me. Fun to trade, low resistance. And the Dow is very heavy. And S&P as well. So I like how this is looking. consequent encroachment of that old new day opening gap. And as of right now, we haven't traded back up to that inversion fair value gap. If that remains true, then that's signs of heaviness. That means it's very heavy, very bearish. So we open on this candle, trade it up, hit consequent encroachment of the old new day opening gap, but cannot reach the low end of that inversion fair value gap. That's signaling to me that NASDAQ is potentially still heavy and it's in a rush for lower prices. So those are signatures that I pay attention to. It's that kind of stuff that I like to see when I'm short. Beautiful delivery. We're now around the lower quadrant of that old new day opening gap. Sell side liquidity is clean in the crosshairs. Other indices are still looking heavy, looking bearish. Dollar index still posting higher highs. So everything in the chart is saying just hold it. Gonna reduce my risk just a tad bit. Less than $1,000 bucks. So that's very nice in terms of risk to reward. Only risking 0.6% of equity. I'm watching that up close candle. I want to see if that acts as a bearish order block. And can that take us into our 8:30 opening price and the sell side? At this point in time, I'm not expecting price to trade up into the breaker. It's already been a prolonged price run. Inversion fair value gap, if we want to trade into that, that's fine. That's acceptable. But a retracement all the way into the breaker is not necessary at this point. Now that 8:30 opening price is always a good partial, and that would be a partial for me, but because we have smooth relative equal lows, like we have this low here, this low, higher low, this low, so we have like a quadruple bottom, because that's resting just a few points underneath our 8:30 opening price. That's what I'm holding out for. And midnight open, that's not required. That's just kind of like the cherry on top, best case scenario if I can get it, but it's not needed. Now we also have high impact news. Let me double check, make sure it's high impact. What's today? Monday? Yeah, we also have high impact news at 10 a.m. I expect at least my two partials to be hit before 10. So that news driver doesn't really concern me. We still have about 15 minutes and I expect that sell side to get hit within the next 15 1-minute candlesticks. But if I'm in a situation where if I'm still in a trade just a couple minutes prior to high impact news, then I'll probably just close it or just move my stop to break even. Obviously, I won't trade like before CPI or hold a trade through NFP, anything like that. But if it's just a regular high impact news driver, I'm fine trading before that. Especially if I get in early, like at, when did I get in this? 9:40, 9:35. So almost 30 minutes before news, I plan to be out by then. First trade of November. 2 more months, man. And we're into 2026. This year went by crazy fast. Like, it's almost a blur. Like, it's, man. I feel like we just celebrated New Year's, and now here we go. Another year is right around the corner. It's crazy, man. How fast time be flying. Alright, so we're staying beneath mean threshold of that up close candle, the bearish order block. So from the opening price to the high of the up close candle, using the opening price to the high because the opening price is where buy side delivery begins. That's when buy side is offered, hitting mean threshold here. And again, it can trade up to the inversion fair value gap. That's why my stop loss is allowing for it. If I didn't think that was acceptable, then my stop would be moved to break even at this point in time. But should we want to visit this here, then the same rules apply. I would want it to stay in the lower half. And then if I didn't already pyramid at the low end of the inversion fair value gap here, if it gives me an opportunity here, that would be my short. But it doesn't always give you that return to it. So I like getting my pyramids like this entry as we're trading through the low end of the breaker. That's my short. And then as we're trading through the low end of the inversion fair value gap, that'll be a pyramid. Now, there's nothing wrong with waiting for it to come back. Like, that can obviously be an entry or a pyramid entry. But you just have to understand it doesn't always give you that, especially if it's really bearish and it's in a rush and it's moving. It'll do what it does here, tap consequent encroachment, sell off, and then, as ICT says, Elvis has left the building. Keeping an eye on the clock, we're approaching that 9:50 to 10:10 macro, which I love. One of my favorite macros. That 20-minute interval usually gets price moving. The bulk of the volume for the daily range is within the first hour of trading, 9:30 to 10:30, and inside of that hour window, you have that 9:50 to 10:10 macro. So you have a macro inside of the most volatile time of the day, and you usually get a nice little price run. So and I'm thinking about fully closing this at sell side. We have 10 minutes till news. 10 minutes till news. Because I don't know if I want to hold my last contract through news. Now it can just rip through that sell side and trade to the midnight open in a few candles, and there it is. But what I don't want to happen is I have one contract remaining, and then 10 o'clock news brings some slippage and some foolishness happens. So I may just be content with 5,000 on the day. And I aim for around 5K a week. That's like a bread and butter objective. So this will be my one and only trade for the week to kick off November. It's just that easy. Now, if we can accelerate underneath this low, then I'll move my stop to break even. I don't want to see just a shallow wick and then we reprice back into this range. So I'm watching the speed that we get. And I'm going to adjust my apex trade as well. I'll go ahead and close all 3 contracts at that sell side. Go ahead and adjust that. So that's the displacement that I like. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. And now I'll go ahead and remove my risk plus $100 or so to pay me for my time to wake up and sit in front of the charts this morning. You can see in the bottom right hand side of the screen, this is real money, real live account. not paper. And just a little bit more. Wick below that sell side. If we can trade to it. I'm expecting that midnight open as a draw. That's a 70% likelihood. And see, I didn't get my fill there. I got the fill on my Apex account, so that's booked. Booked that market. I think I'm on my like 6th payout for Apex. So I think the rules are you can withdraw like 100% of profits, or there's some kind of more freedom that you get with that. I'm not sure. But I think I still have to trade 8 days. So it just fell short of my limit order. This candlestick's low is 118.75. So it's about 2 ticks short. I'm watching this fair value gap. And we're in that macro 950 to 1010. Go ahead and draw that out. Got about 6 minutes till news. Now I'm out of the trade fully on my Apex account. If it doesn't run beneath that sell side or make a run for the midnight open within the next 3 candlesticks or so, then I'll just close it where it's at. But I'm not interested in holding through news because of slippage, and then I feel like just the current market environment with all the stuff going on in the world, it's probably not the smartest thing to hold through news or through like the new day opening gap. The gap risk, like our current or last week's new week opening gap was so large, it's probably not what you want to hold through. It's a beautiful, beautiful Monday. And it's NFP week. We have NFP on Friday. Mondays of NFP week are usually, I'm not a big fan of Mondays, especially like no news Mondays. But the exception to that is NFP week. Those are usually the times when Mondays would be a little bit cleaner and you want to be done with your trading by Wednesday morning. So after Wednesday, 11 a.m., I wouldn't be interested in placing any more trades, at least not on my personal account. I'll still work with Apex or on paper or whatever. But NFP protocol is Wednesday. You want to be done. Got about 5 minutes till news. Looking at S&P and Dow, those markets are still looking heavy, especially ES. All the markets just posting lower lows. I like the bodies staying on the outside of that red fair value gap. Discord members, as always, will have a in-depth market review. I sent out yesterday, for those in the server, the market review and trade breakdowns for both Thursday and Friday. Those videos are kind of long. It's one video. It's a little over 40 minutes. So if you don't have your server notifications on, you definitely want to check that out, because that was sent out last night, a little late. And it's good stuff in there. So Friday's market review has been uploaded. It's posted. Check the breakdowns and reviews channel. The PDF has also been sent right under that message. Download the PDF, save it, follow along, and you'll be all set. All right, we have 2 minutes till news. Not gonna play around with NASDAQ. Obviously, I want 5K just because I'll be done for the week, but 4,700 is nothing wrong with that. It's no big deal. That's close enough. Close enough for government work, like ICT says. If you're new to the channel, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Journey to 100,000 subscribers, slowly but surely. We're gonna get there. We're gonna make it. Love every single one of y'all who constantly tune in and support the channel. Love all you guys. So we got about 30 or 20 seconds till news. I'm gonna go ahead and hold it through news because it's like a couple ticks away. I have profit locked in, and I'm still focused on that midnight open because that was my drawn liquidity. That's what I'm expecting it to reach for. And a little bit more. The news drivers for the October haven't been like volatile at all. Like I remember being on stream and we would have a high impact or medium impact news driver at 10 a.m. or 9:45, and we would watch it and then it would just be like, that was it. Like that's what we were waiting for. And there she goes. So that is the business. All right, so here you can see the Apex account. $4,500 on the day. And here's my personal account with the TradeStation. And you can see $4,700 on the day, which brings the grand total to around $9,600. And I'm done for the week with that. Thanks for watching. I'll see y'all when I see y'all. Peace.